This is the mystery font in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And you are the radiation. You are the radiation. You are the radiation. Particle matter wave, radio science brain, wake wax from today, imagination, today remain agent of change, remain this day, science brain. You are the renovation of this occupation. You are the renovation of love's imagination. Particle matter wave, now like we make waves, we become tidal waves. Imagination may game to play. You are game to today. May always be holding stage, radio science brain, calling Colossus, calling beyond us, yes, upon us, calling Colossus, from public schools, your chaos is paying love's way. You are the genius, make no say. Imagination, your intuition may be the opening. Pray, not pray. Pray or not pray today. Please be play. Imagination game. If you want game to play, don't be play. Be play. Maybe game to play today. You are the kindest Lord. Range. Radio science brain, program this game. Pretend that love is safe. Pretend that love is safe today. Pretend just and said you choose the game. Imagination, particle matter wave, particle matter wave, particle matter wave. You are the rage, you are the rage, you are the rage of love's imagination. Contagious of your works from imagination, may game to play. Day you show us the way. Radio That came come, and that come just came. Pretend that you're the prey, and you know your name. My name, part of the battle, now that safety can become tidal. What science? We are not the poison. You're not the poison. The water out of water in the poison. Water in the imagination. You're not poisoning water tower. You are water in this poison. But we can climb out, we can save everyone. Yes, Nazis have cancer, but that can be done. Yes, the Nazis bring cancer, it's a contagious one. Yes, the Nazis bring cancer, Stephen Miller brought enough cancer for everyone. We can tell him we don't want to be an imagination sprung. This is the mindness at the mystery and a run through radio science brain and preparing to make a phone call or two towards ascertaining a situation report, because the president of the Heritage Foundation made a death threat against you and me and himself and everyone here on this continent. The Heritage Foundation and America First Legal, led by Stephen Miller and Howard, and President Trump, the former disgraced president, represent an existential threat to safety, to rule of law, and absolutely represent a threat to democracy. Democracy on the planet and democracy in America. We have a Confederate outbreak on our court. We have fascism. We have fascism. And we need to hear the cry for help from these people who somehow don't have anything better to offer than death threats. We need to hear the call that is a cry for help from blitzed and fatigued and corrupted people like Stephen Miller and Kevin Roberts. We have to take the behavior that looks like someone shouting in the street like they might hurt anyone who comes before them to ask what's wrong. We need to stop enabling that kind of lynch mob brain syndrome behavior. We are the renovation of this whole occupation. Here at the Mystery Font, I'm going to make a phone call. And I suggest we all make phone calls. For certain, I know that when brown shirts step into the street and break a window, break a boundary, if we don't repair it, we are part of the foundry of a place where that's the new normal. And someone telling us that they can make a call like, I'll be coming through the street and doing terrible things that you'll want to stop. Your survival instinct will be invoked, but no harm will come to you. Just don't stop it. Just don't stop our crime. Just don't stop our looting. Just don't stop us taking your children out of your home because we've decided you were the wrong kind. Because they're the wrong kind. Because if you're that way, the world is going to be mighty difficult for you, or we're going to erase you from the world. That is the bandwidth of Donald Trump. That is the bandwidth of Project 2025. That's the bandwidth of M. The letter M. And it stands for the mortar, the murderer. Murderer. Stephen Miller is a barbaric butcher, and he may be the president if we don't stop Project 2025 today. Today. Kevin Roberts should be in custody or getting help. So let's find out. I'm assuming that he either is in some sort of intensive program of deprogramming or in psychological care, surrounded by family members trying to bring him back to the human family, or that he's in custody and hopefully has access to those kinds of supports there in jail. Let's find out how that's going.
Thank you for calling Heritage Foundation. How may I help you?
Hi, yes, I'm calling to talk to you because I was really impressed by the statement that Kevin Roberts made the other day. And the Heritage Foundation is obviously, made of so many respected and influential and powerful people that I thought it was, important just to reach out and let you know that I heard that, I think it's important that we talk about these things because I think that approaching the issues of how we live together and how we make our country strong and safe and what America is really about, what America really is about, is important. And so I wanted to let Kevin know that I, a citizen of Minneapolis, America, I hear your cry for help, and I want you, Kevin, to get psychological care because you and your foundation of Ku Klux Klan Nazis are trying to cause murder and lynch mobs. And I want to let you know that someone telling us that they're going to cause bloody revolution, and it won't be bloody if we don't stop their murder and them stealing children and creating centers where their pedophilia is safe. We don't want your racism. We don't want your transgenocide. We don't want your hatred. And no, you will not start a revolution of your Nazi filth and your degradation against Christ. Your Nazi Christian nationalism is a crime, Kevin, and Stephen Miller, and Donald Trump. I'm letting you know, and I thank you for listening, that your crime will be stopped. I want to know if he's been arrested. Has Kevin been arrested, or has he been? Has his family come to talk to him in therapy about the incredible crime? You realize that he made a death threat against the country and against democracy and against me and everyone else. Do you recognize that, right? I just want to. What I want to know today is your foundation not? It seems very clear that this is a Nazi foundation that is here to make terrorism based on patriarchal terror and white supremacy the rule of law. That's what Kevin told us the other day. And let me tell you, that is crime. And that if he comes into the street with that, he will be swallowed whole by the new Colossus. So I'm wondering if you can tell me about how you're handling the disassembly of the Heritage Foundation and the disassembly of Project 2025 and get all of you people to therapy and healthcare so that your big feelings are bubbles that you can swallow and learn how to deal with them. Because you don't get to torture people. You don't get to tell us what our pants look like on the inside. You don't get to hurt people. We're not going backwards. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Have a good day, okay?
No, I'm not done talking. I'd like to talk to Kevin.
Thanks for calling the Heritage Foundation. How may I direct your call?
I'd like to talk to Kevin Roberts, please.
What is it regarding?
It's regarding his statement last week. I was very impressed.
All right, please hold. Please leave a message after the tone. When you have finished, please hang up.
Hi, Kevin. My name is Tim Cameron, and I wanted to let you know that I heard your cry for help. You committed a crime against democracy in America, and you threatened everyone's life last week. And no, you're not starting a revolution. That's why it's not going to be bloody. Boy, no one talks to Americans like that. No one talks to human beings like that. And your corruption of Christ is not going to take hold. I hear your cry for help. And I'd like to know, what did you expect was going to happen? Because you're trying simply to coerce us to accept the massive lie of white supremacist patriarchal terrorism. You know, you don't have to be afraid, Kevin. It's actually okay. We're strong enough here in America to process all these things, all these crimes, and nobody gets punished for what happened in the past. But you're trying to profit from it now, and you're trying to make it happen again. And whiteness is not something that is white people. The whiteness, white supremacy, and taking apart the myth of whiteness is not a threat to us. You need to learn that, and you need to stop promulgating the myth that taking apart white supremacy is taking apart anybody. Taking apart white supremacy is taking apart a cage that you're trying to put back around us. And I'd like to know how we can help you deal with your feelings so that you're not a terrorist again. Never, ever talk to us that way again. And if you come to the street with violence, you will be helped to safety. But your choice is the one to be obliterated by bringing violence. The answer is no. I want to know how you are apologizing, resigning, getting health care, and moving on, because Project 2025 is dust, and your Nazi corruption is crime. You're trying to enslave women, and you're trying to make anybody who doesn't look like your white, cis, probably closeted ass. You want white men and people who are white men's pets to be more equal than everyone else. And that's a crime. We are all equal. Don't ever threaten us again. Don't ever threaten us again. Don't ever threaten us again. This was your last warning, because the world is not going to stay asleep to your crime and terrorism and published conspiracy for illegal, torturous overthrow of legitimate American democracy. You are the crime. Please let us know you're getting help to end your threat to our habitat. Please let us know you're getting help, because we're not going to enable looters. We're not going to enable criminals and rapists. We're not going to enable pedophile supporters like you. I think we need to make sure that our voices are even being heard. During the Trump administration, I tried to call in to give feedback, and they had just stopped taking public feedback. Like, no, we don't have a number for that now. This is not an election. This is a campaign to continue elections. Let's look at
Foundation. Our offices are currently closed. Our normal business hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Saturday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please leave a detailed message including your name and phone number and the reason for your call, and a membership representative will get back.
Thank you for calling the Heritage Foundation. How may I help you?
Hi, yes. I just had a question about something that I'd seen in the news about the Heritage Foundation. It sounds like the idea is that apparently the president of the Heritage Foundation threatened a bloody revolution, and I'm wondering if that's is that the policy of the Heritage Foundation, that you're causing a bloody, that you're going to attack people in the streets?
Sorry, that we took his statement out of context, and it was, yeah.
Oh, okay. So the context.
Suggested here that part.
Got it. So the context of it being talking about immunity and the seriousness of that, and he said we're starting a second American Revolution, which will be bloodless if the left allows it. Now, what that sounds like is what he said, which is that it's going to be a bloody revolution if nobody stops it. That it's the kind of revolution where things will happen, like in any revolution, where people would want to stop it. And that in this case, the things are spelled out in your document, which involve stealing trans kids from homes, making concentration camps of homeless people and of divergent people. So that's the kind of thing that you're, that's,
or that you just going by your thing that you just heard?
I'm going by the things that Stephen Miller has done. I'm going by the things that the Heritage Foundation has done. And I'm going by the things that you've said, including that the president of the Heritage Foundation promised bloody revolution that we just have to get out of the way of. Now, I'm wondering when he's going to apologize, because my understanding is that this is the kind. Right now, it's becoming illegal. It's becoming punishable by death to get an abortion, and so women's rights are being totally decimated. And what you're saying is that there's going to be more of that. That more conservative justices will enslave women and remove trans kids, and there will be genocide, and we just don't have to stop it. So all of this bloody stuff that's going to happen isn't bloody, but as long as we don't stop it, we won't get hurt. Is that it? That we just have to get out of the way and then we won't get hurt, and you can do what you want? What was he saying? What was the context in which he's talking about blood?
I would turn to the O so that someone can help you, okay? I'm just a switchboard person, and they told me to say that his comment was, we have taken out of context.
I understand. We're all just following orders and keeping our jobs. Thank you.
No problem.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Please leave a message after the tone. When you have finished, please hang up.
Which of the policies that you're saying you will enact are the ones that you're talking about? Kevin, when you say it will be a bloodless revolution. You say you are going to start a revolution, and revolutions are bloody, but you are telling people to not stop what you're doing. You will be stopped, and we hear your cry for help. I hear the cry for help in being sent to talk to someone and being met with a machine. I hear your cry for help, that this is what you have to offer people with questions. I hear your cry for help, that you are so broken by the degradation of our capitalistic culture and murderers like Stephen Miller and rapists like Donald Trump, that you think we just have to go for every single possible lie and cheat and grab that we can. but you are wrong. And you are wrong about Christ. Christ was homeless and fought for the homeless, and Christ fought for the weakest among us. That's why I fight for your right to live and to figure this out. But no, you will be stopped. I don't know how many people around you now are coming to you and begging you, wanting to know why you hid that you were a monster. But this is monstrous. And any and all of you are committing crime against humanity, against America, and against fact. You're trying to hide and cover from the crimes of white supremacist patriarchal terror. And that this is the best you can do is put someone on a voicemail. Shows exactly who you are. After making death threats, this is who you are. You are the coercive shape of a machine that doesn't have to answer the people it means to murder, or who speak for the people that it means to murder. You are a crime. You should show yourself as something else, because there's no thing but action that shows a change of heart and repair. There's nothing but that shows you as anything but a monster and someone who needs psychological care and should not be enabled in a position of power. Any of you. Hi, I've been sent around a couple times, and I'd really like to talk to someone who can answer questions about some of the new policies that have become apparent in the last bit of time here. I've been sent to voicemail a couple of times, but I'd like to talk to
I
someone.
know, sir. Honestly, no one's here to speak to you.
So I see. So you're starting a revolution that you're not willing to speak to anybody about. Your president, threatened bloody revolution, and you don't have
Has
any
anything
statement?
happened?
Pardon?
Has anything happened to you?
Yes.
What
Yes.
happened?
I'm living,
What happened?
well, I'll tell you right now. I'm on the phone with right now in a nation that's been threatened by a 900-page tyranny manifesto from Nazis. That's what's happened. We are under a spell of terror. That's what's happened. And people are being rounded up. A 10-year-old girl just was made to give birth because of Nazis like the Heritage Foundation, sowing coercion and controlling people and controlling bodies for white supremacist patriarchal terror. So my sisters and brothers, including you, are in danger. That's what happened. It's not about what happened to me. It's about they're coming for people. The Heritage Foundation are Nazis, and they're coming for people. And I want to talk to you. I want to talk to somebody there who can assure us that you're something else, or else we have to get you to healthcare or custody, because what is being conducted by your group, is terrorism. That is what is being done to me. And for you to speak in any way that is other than to help this situation, for you to become antagonistic with me, as in what's being done to me, how dare you?
I'm calling here. What do you mean? I'm antagonistic with you. That you keep calling here.
I'm calling you because you are the ones threatening us with bloody revolution. You made the death threat.
You have a wonderful day, okay?
You made the death threat. Hmm.
Thank you for calling the Heritage Foundation. I'm direct your call.
Hi, I'd like to talk to a person in press to talk about policy.
In press?
Well, or anyone who I can talk to right now who is not just answering phones.
I mean, that would not be up to me. That would be the person who's been transferred to if they want to answer the call or not. I can try to transfer over to somebody over there.
Well, I can just ask you. I'm wondering if the policy is Kevin. Has he been like taken into therapy and mental care? Has he been arrested, or in fact, are you all standing behind his threat of threatening bloody revolution and terrorism?
Have a nice day.
No, I'm asking you.
Have a nice day.
You don't have an answer? Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for calling the Heritage Foundation. I'm direct your call.
I would like to talk to somebody today.
Who would you like to talk to?
Anybody who can talk about policy. Anybody who can talk about Kevin and Robert's recent comments.
Okay, please hold.
Please leave a message after the tone. When you have finished, please hang up.
I'm interested to talk to someone, and repeatedly and on camera, I'm being given a voicemail when people who would want to build common understanding would want to talk. Yes.
for calling the Heritage Foundation General Mailbox. Please leave a message after the tone. When you have finished, please hang up.
I'm calling because your president made a death threat against democracy and Americans, and you're sending people to voicemail. No. The answer is no. Your genocide and your concentration camps and your kids in cages, separating families, and your fetish for whiteness. No to your indoctrination into patriarchal terrorism, where men enslave women, and white supremacy. And no to the lie that we are not strong enough and courageous enough to figure out all the crimes of the past and to live together in harmony. No to your crimes. And if you think you are bringing something into the street that we would want to stop and that we would let you do it, the new Colossus will swallow you whole. The new Colossus will swallow you whole. And probably deposit you safely in healthcare.
Thank you for calling the Heritage Foundation. I'm going to help you.
Yes, I'd just like to know why the Heritage Foundation threatened America, threatened American life.
I have no idea, sir. I'm just a straightforward person, but I can try to go forward and help you.
Yeah, I'd love to
Is
talk
that
to
okay?
somebody. Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The Heritage Foundation is afraid to talk. They don't have an answer for why they are unmasking and threatening. They don't have an answer or want to spell out an answer for why they have published a plan for the end of posse comitatus and concentration camps and mass murder. The most massive deportations ever. And when Stephen Miller, who gave us Kids in Cages, says that when they're talking about bringing in tens of thousands of people who are essentially ready to shock when the person says administer the shock. We are dealing with people who are entranced by fascism, and this is something that we should be criminally apprehending. We should be criminally apprehending people. This is crime. It's not difficult and kind of tough, and while, you know, we're at the edge of free speech and planning on a level that is exactly what it says it is, and then says once in a while it's not when people are looking. These are Nazis. These are bigots, and for whatever reason, hoodwinked or simply, you know, whether they're hoodwinked by Trump and the lies of white supremacy that tell white people there's some kind of grievance that white people in this whole thing have, other than the fact that white people are predatory on white people too. But no, the whole mess of Donald Trump's and the Project 2025 bandwidth is a lie. There's nothing wrong with tradition and holistic culture, and I hope to marry, and I'm interested in women. I would have what looks traditional, you know, what is supposedly traditional. But there are things adhered onto what we look at a glance and say, oh, that's traditional. And we're allowing bigots to attach stuff on and slice stuff off and say, well, what's prevalent in culture now is it. And taking us back to, like, this is pre-Sesame. This is pre-Mr. Rogers. Before there were people in culture telling you just to tell you that kindness is good and that you deserve it. When the only admonition and seeming kindness was coming from the established predators, and hopefully some decent people too, but the point is that the whole thing, the whole Project 2025 Heritage Foundation Donald Trump thing is a fucking lie. Whiteness was made. It doesn't exist. It just was created on paper. And all kinds of myths and literal terrorist, barbaric acts that went exponential on harm that was already in the world. Yeah, there was something called slavery before America, but I mean, there were bad people before Jeffrey Dahmer too, but innovation happens. Bad innovation or bad blitzes of action happen. that doesn't mean it's productive. And in lying and in using theft and murder and coercive control that then is held in place by a whole lot of lies about inferiority that doesn't exist, and that if there's inferiority that's been proven on Earth, if there's any inferiority that corresponds to race, it's that white people act inferior to the rest of people. Because look at Kevin Roberts. Look at Kevin Roberts.
Thank you for calling the Heritage Foundation. I'm Andrew. Your call.
Oh, I just wanted to offer that, as a counterpoint to Kevin Roberts' statement last week about revolution, that, really the people who have been bloodied and bloodied and bloodied over and over and over again have always been bloodied by the person who decides a little bit of boundary is time for poisonable blankets. And Kevin is talking about crime. He's talking about crime, and he's a criminal. And you're part of a Nazi crime.
Okay. Have a nice day, sir.
You stop. Yeah. I'm just calling the Heritage Foundation. Hello?
The Heritage Foundation. How? I'm going to help you.
Oh, hey, thanks. I just had the thought. It's interesting. Kevin Roberts made me rethink something, because I think there's always been all this talk about inferiority and racism and everything. But after his statement last week about a bloody revolution, I have to say that the only people who have shown actual racial inferiority are white men like Kevin Roberts. That if there is any problem, it's with people like him. And I wonder if you're aware that that kind of terrorism is illegal. And I wonder if we can come together to stop enabling violent men like Kevin. What do you think? Could we maybe help him de-escalate and go to therapy?
So you want to tell them to go to therapy?
Well, I'd like all of the Heritage Foundation to disband and
You
seek
want
therapy.
Heritage to go to therapy?
Yes, I want all of you white supremacists to get help so that you don't start violence. Because that's inferior. That's deeply inferior, and it's deeply un-American, and it's deeply un-Christian. It's deeply anti-human. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
So,
But
so,
you have a wonderful day, okay?
but what?
Thank you.
But what?
I said, but I want you to have a wonderful day, okay?
Well, a wonderful day would come with accountability. You need to be accountable for what your organization needs to be accountable. That's where a wonderful day begins. Actually, yeah, let's make a different call now. Let's make a different call.
You've reached the United States Secret Service. Please listen to the following options. If you are a law enforcement officer or calling to report a crime, please call your local Secret Service field office. Field office phone numbers are listed on our website, www.secretservice.gov. If you are calling for information on employment opportunities or to check the status of a current application, please press 2. If you are a member of the media or wish to speak with the Office of Communication and Media Relations, please press 3. If you are conducting a background investigation involving a Secret Service employee or applicant, please press 4. If you are attempting to verify the employment of a Secret Service employee, please press 5. To hear these options again, please press 6.
Hello, you've reached the U.S. Secret Service, Office of Communications and Media Relations. We do not have a press officer available at this time. If you are a member of the media, please submit your request to ussmediainquiry@uss.dhs.gov for a response. Our intake box is constantly monitored, and a member of the press team will be in touch promptly. Thank you. Thanks for calling. Goodbye.
Did I not hear the right option?
If you are a law enforcement officer or calling to report a crime, please call your local Secret Service field office. Field office phone numbers are listed on our website, www.secretservice.gov. If you are calling for information on employment opportunities or to check the status of a current application, please press 2. member of the media or wish to speak with the Office of Communications and Media Relations, please press 3. If you are conducting a background investigation involving a Secret Service employee or applicant, please press 4. If you are attempting to verify the employment of a Secret Service employee, please press 5. To hear these options again, please press 6.
Service.
Hello, I'm calling from Minneapolis, and I just had a couple of questions, partly prompted from Kevin Roberts of the Heritage Foundation statement last week. I'm wondering about what the Secret Service attitude is to that death threat against American people, and I suppose writ large against democracy, is in terms of threatening bloody revolution that just
Okay,
won't.
can I hold a moment, please?
Oh,
and I
sure.
will transfer you to
Oh,
our
thank you,
team.
thank you.
I'm sorry, extension number 612334537 didn't answer. You've reached the voicemail of extension number 612334537. Please leave a message.
Hello. I'm interested in knowing about two basic areas, I guess. One is about the disposition of the Secret Service to statements by the Heritage Foundation president last week that he is starting the second bloody American Revolution, which won't be bloody if people don't stop them. In light of the 30 or so pages of tyrannical terroristic threats that are within, the larger Project 2025 document, this looks like white supremacist dictatorship takeover language, and that, at best is misguided, but certainly falls into the bandwidth of terrorism. So my question is about what is the disposition there, and about the legality even of that kind of statement on his part. The other question is about suspense and being kept in suspense. In 2016, the former president threatened to keep us in suspense in a debate, and the Secret Service did nothing. And the Secret Service and no one else, none of us, did anything to stop and say, wait a minute, is that your final answer? Because you don't threaten or negotiate with the terms of service of the presidency. But he did suspend democracy. It wasn't a joke. And then he did, after saying it was a bad deal, sort of shift and not just say he did nothing wrong, but he went to sing. He sang with the people who were held accountable justifiably for violence that he lied to stoke into being. And that is the person who is coming back telling us he's going to make an honest woman out of us. But I don't think he's changed. And someone who is saying they are here bringing retribution, there's nothing about this that looks good. And the person who would ask for the right to be able to disassemble and redistribute your body's blood in order to do an operation is not somebody to trust. I need to be able to kill you in order to save you? No. I need to have the right to do anything, even the worst things, that have nothing to do. I mean, I need to be able to commit terrible crimes to do good. Only the person who wants to do great, decimating harm. Only the person who wants conquest asks for that. And I'm wondering about the disposition of the Secret Service, both to Project 2025 and literal terrorism from Kevin Roberts and that organization, or Stephen Miller. And I'm wondering about your disposition to a person who did obstruct democracy after threatening to do so, and after the threats were not heard by people who are tasked with protecting the presidency. And I'm wondering about the relationship of protecting the presidency to protecting the president. We are in a time of danger, and it's my hope that the Secret Service learned from 2016 and 2020 and learned about protecting, because it seems like that left. It seems like no one was watching the post. Whoever was supposed to be there to say, is that your final answer? Because someone is supposed to protect us and protect the presidency from being threatened. And in this unprecedented and difficult time, calling attention to such fine parsings or such intense questions, I appreciate your listening, your attention to it. Thank you. I am at 612-433-5546 in Minneapolis. My name is Tim Cameron. Thank you. Because that well, I mean, I'm not sure what I was expecting in terms of catharsis. I didn't, I suppose, expect. Perhaps I can prepare better. Well, certainly I can. It is good to do whatever we can to assure that we're all safe. Trust your intuition. Be wise. Be judicious. And selectively, be daring. need you so. And blood that makes me whole. Need you so. Take these broken wings, learn to fly again, learn to live so free. So I called the Heritage Foundation a number of times today in an effort to hear commentary back, some sort of rationale for why their leader, who's heading Project 2025, made death threats against everybody last week, saying that the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 is going to start bloody revolution. That won't be bloody if people don't stop them. And that means that your kids can be taken. That means your friends can be killed. That means people can be disappeared. That means Freedom of Information Acts won't ever happen again. That means if Project 2025 does what they want, women will lose the right to vote. It's not about what any one of these one things does. It's about what that whole thing means. This is enslavement of women. This is murder of divergent people. We have to stop them now. We have to make it terrible and uncomfortable and painful and torture to be them, because they are normalizing bringing their weapons with them and their fucking cancer into our neighborhoods and into our safety and into our schools. We need to organize and assemble and push this to therapy or accountability. These are Nazis. This is the Ku Klux Klan, the people who inspired Hitler. And we have to meet it with our full executive intelligence, our full executive function. Take care of yourself and apprehend it. We are the reality distortion fielding. We are the thing that can see what's happening, and amidst weird stuff that doesn't always tell us what it is, or doesn't always do what it says, or does but doesn't have the effect we hoped. Even on a good day, even with everybody being honest, stuff happens. But we are, and we have been, under attack. It is slow motion, but the knives are just as sharp. And when they land, they don't stop. We have to stop the people with the knives now. We have to, while there is a semblance of civil conversation, pretending to be civil conversation left, call it back into the room and call into our habit structure and into our lives safe, in the building of it, safe reproach. That is heroism. Finding a way to bring a conversation together where you're not sure, then you're not sure, and we're all not sure, but well, if we can figure out, we're going to talk about the same thing here and like have language that lets us, from where we are, at least look at it and all agree we're talking about the same thing, we have a start. And in there, people will say things about, I don't like how you do this, or shut up, or don't talk to me that way. And having boundaries or saying, stop saying that, that's offensive, is not censorship. And the extremists who want to tear people apart are also terrified of having people say, I don't agree with you. And that's nonsense. Disagreement is not censorship. Holding someone to account for what they say they believe in safe reproach is how we discuss. You only have to watch Marjorie Taylor Greene in Congress just for a moment to recognize that she is trying to cause harm or can't help it. like trying to break down executive function and the ability to do anything. And it preempts what we're supposed to do. If somebody's freaking us out by saying, maybe we inject bleach and that'll help, we're like, what? For 10 minutes while the last 15 minutes of the thing are coming up and we're like, oh, what were we supposed to figure out that helps everybody today? Okay, that's it. Everybody, bye. We're letting the worst of us take space through deference for the need for people to take space for serious reasons. And they have taken space to do serious vandalism and loot what's left. And there's a better way. And call it out. And notice as well. I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but I watched a brief segment on Project 2025 on CNN, and they whitewashed it. They really played it down. The anchor actually, before getting into another guest talking about it, when they characterized it, they said that it's aspirational. That was the characterization. Has many very aspirational goals. No. It has pages and pages and pages of aspirational claims. And no 2 or 3 or 7 or 900 pages of aspirational claims should smother or shield from view Mein Kampf American style. They're bringing Nazi patriarchal terrorist dictatorship that will decimate. And I think to some extent, it's largely because we just saw such a massive rupture in the system. Where we saw some inner workings where people realized, like, everybody getting super, super, super pinched and messed with now doesn't mean it wasn't abominable and terror for people earlier. It doesn't somehow mean now that, like, we're figuring it out. And we can, if there's not just hokum, like permuting snakes and floods of pain and degradation and hokum, just constant lying and increasing support and infrastructure that kind of makes room for lying and falsehood and fraud. As terrifying as it is, it makes any use of good and justice potent and stand out. And yet, let's try to make it not stand out by doing it a lot. Let's stand in the way of this thing now, peacefully, as much as we can, to show everybody who's involved with it who they're becoming or who they are, either to help them come back or to scare them from being Nazis. We need to make Kevin Roberts scared of being a Nazi again. We want to make Kevin Roberts scared of being a Nazi again. Make Kevin Roberts terrified of being a Nazi.
We are the reality distortion field. We are the reality distortion field. We are the reality distortion field. The fall.